Ladies and gentlemen, my good friend Nick and Centenaire, it's my pleasure tonight to propose Nick Le Cornu, and as I propose Nick, I'm reminded of the words of my friend, the Deputy of Saint-Jean, Deputy Phil Rondell, who may be here tonight, I'm not sure, who on the 23rd of March gave States members a salutary reminder of the value of having trained lawyers in the States Assembly. And I quote verbatim, so they're not my mistakes. There is a real shortage of lawmen, advocates and solicitors. I hope in any future election we see members of the law profession put their names forward and get elected, because we need the input of people of that calibre. And I am fully in agreement, so I think Nick's got a head start with 2 votes there for a start. Nick is a qualified solicitor, having practiced in the City of London before returning to Jersey to work in the finance industry. Prior to that, he also did a history degree in Warwick. Nick understands the importance of the finance industry to the island's economy, and as a lawyer he will be in a position to read and understand the complex legislation that often comes before States members, and therefore to speak from an informed point of view. Apart from being a lawyer, Nick also has a human side, and his area of political interest is not limited to that of finance and law, having been involved in grassroots politics for many years. He's a founding member of Time for Change and is currently the Secretary of the Jersey Human Rights Group, of which the Deputy of St Martin, Bob Hill, is the chair. He's campaigned on issues such as women's rights, justice for abuse survivors, redundancy pay for Woolworths workers and wheel clamping, the latter which he was instrumental in achieving a change in the law, making the practice illegal in Jersey. Nick is very much aware of the pressures that affect ordinary families and workers in the island. GST, 20 means 20, and the crippling cost of higher education, for example. The latter he knows only too well, having recently educated his stepson, putting him through an economics degree in London. And so he knows that the financial pressures that families all too often and increasingly are having to bear these days. And he says, because instead of taxing corporations and the wealthy millionaires like the 111Ks, the government is now taxing low and middle income earners, all to fill a black hole which they created through their ill-conceived and nefarious 0-10 policy. So Nick is not simply a man of words but a man of action. He will fight cuts in the public sector, he'll fight for your jobs, whether you work in a school, at the post office, and he will fight the dangerous plans for increased privatisation, which will only lead to job cuts, reduced services and a reduction in the state's revenue. In short, he will fight the austerity programme, the forthcoming austerity programme, which was being made inevitable by the Le Sueur-Ozef administration. So I commend my candidate to you, and if I may, I will read out the nomination list and the statement for Nick Le Cornu. We, the undersigned, being elected to the island of Jersey, nominate Basil Nicholas Le Cornu of Flat 4, 23 Le Bois, St Helier, as a candidate for the office of Senator, this 25th day of May 2010. The seconders are Pauline Paynton, Michael Dutherow, Brendan Renahan, Gifford Obin, Raymond McCready, Edward McGarrigle, David Christian, Audrey Logg, Maurice Williams-Cock and myself, Deputy MONTFORT TADIER, as proposer. Thank you for your time. And sorry, there is one last thing. It's a statement on behalf of Nick, which says, I, the undersigned Nicholas Basil Le Cornu, hereby declare that I have read and understood the provisions of Article 9 of the States of Jersey Law 2005, and I am not disqualified for election. I have no relevant convictions for the purpose of Article 9, 1b and c, and furthermore, I, Nicholas Basil Le Cornu, confirm that my candidacy is not endorsed by any political party.